Hey everybody, welcome to the Chimes of Midnight live stream listen along. It's the first big Finnish listen along event of its kind, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with you today. Hashtag plum pudding on Twitter. In order to access this, you either need to listen to it on your own CD copy if you've ordered the CD from Big Finish or eBay and you have it in your collection, or you can listen to the download, which I've just realized in my picture here is spelled wrong. You can listen to it on download or on vinyl if you happen to own it those ways. If you do not own it, it is available for free on SoundCloud and Apple Music. You can find the links to those in the description down below, and I will of course share the link to it on SoundCloud in the chat. Good to see Evan Cunningham and OJW and Dan Johnson in the chat. Here's the link to the SoundCloud link. I'm very, very excited about this. It's going to start in T-minus 10 minutes. Bound load, yes, we have a bound load here. I'm going to fix that immediately, but yeah, you can listen to it CD or download or vinyl. Comment down below how you are listening to this whilst I fix the bound load. Here we go. How about a capital D? There we go. Oh, it's a different color. Nice. So glad I've got people looking out in the chat for me. Here we go. All right. I fixed it. I'll download that image. I'm very, very excited about this live stream. It's the first of its kind. We have Robert Shearman, Nicholas Briggs tweeting live. One other person, I believe Barnaby Edwards, is tweeting as well as at Finished Zine, that's Kenny. So 5 different members live tweeting. India Fisher as well, of course. So that's incredible. I'm going to share that link as well. That's also in the description. But if you want to follow along with the live tweets. Hey, Michael says download time. Yeah, right. All right, I'm going to fix that now. There we go. It says download now. Yes. Hey, my love for Doctor Who, welcome. Dan Johnson says I'm going to have to dip out and in the chat because I can't listen to both at the same time. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a flaw in the system. Oh wow, hello to Patrick Sherwood. Yeah, if you can find another device to listen to both of these on, that's, yeah, I'm listening to it on my laptop. I've downloaded it from Big Finish, and I cannot wait. Evan Cunningham says, will we be taking a break in between parts, and how long are the breaks? So, we will be taking a break. We'll start part 3 at exactly, let's see, we'll be starting it it's 7 p.m. in the UK. We start parts 1 and part 2. We listen straight through to those. And then part 3 we'll start at 8 p.m. in the UK, which is 3 p.m. in EST. So, at 8 p.m. BST and at 3 p.m. EST, we will be pressing play on parts 3 and 4. I hope that's clear. And if you're listening to it on SoundCloud through the playlist link, they said on Twitter that you don't need to pause it, just keep listening straight through. So I think they've added in a break there. However, when I go to the SoundCloud link, there's a 2-minute trailer. So if you are going to use SoundCloud, make sure that you start it, I believe, 2 minutes ahead of time so you can listen through that trailer, or just skip the trailer and it'll start playing directly. So I hope that clarifies things. But yes, we will be watching parts 1. We'll start part 1 and part 2 at 7 p.m. BST. That's 2 p.m. EST, and then we'll have a little break for a couple of minutes. Intermission begins apparently at 1954, so that's 7:54 BST, 2:54 EST, and then we'll start part 2 we'll start parts 3 and 4 at 8 p.m. BST and 3 p.m. EST. The Rebel Time says, hey, how are you? Also, thanks a lot for making me moderator. No problem. Thanks for reaching out and asking to be a moderator. Dan Johnson is also a new moderator in the house, so thankful to have you guys helping out. If you would like to be a moderator, message me or let me know in the chat, because it's great to have you. And if you've Dan Johnson and the Rebel of Time have been consistently in the chats and been adding to the lovely. This is such a nice chat that we have going on here. It's just amazing. I'm really spoiled here. This is just a lovely chat, and I'm so glad to have you all here. How long has it been since you listened to this story? It's been a couple years for me, and I'm very excited. This is supposedly one of the best Big Finish stories of all time. It's the genesis of the Daleks. It's the Caves of Androzani of Big Finish. And this one, it was so good it was released on vinyl, exclusive to Big Finish. So comment down below if you have that vinyl. My gosh. Good to see Jason Peace here, and Hux as well. Evan Cunningham in the chat, good to see you. OJW says, I'll just go for a while, then come back because I've got a project due next week, which I need to log into at a specific time. Oh gosh, it's a good reason. I hope that goes well. Good luck with that. I've listened to this story once, maybe twice before. Hello to Banjo-Kazooie59. Welcome. Glad to have you here. We're going to be listening to The Chimes of Midnight. Hashtag Plum Pudding on Twitter. And if you want the live list to follow of tweets, then definitely check out the chat and the description of this. Evan Cunningham says, this is my first time listening. That's awesome. Congratulations. Michael, how many times have you listened to this story before? I know some people, it's just been an annual Christmas Eve thing, and you just listen to it at Christmas time. But Banjo-Kazooie59 says, it's been a few months for me. Great story. Glad to see some love for this story. It's a very, very good one, and it's cool that they really knocked it out of the park so early. With they just started their main range. They've been doing it for about a year and a half by this point, in the monthly range. And I'm excited, very, very excited. I'm gonna tweet out. So excited for this. Hashtag Plum Pudding, everybody. Oh my gosh. We have a £2 super chat in the house. Thank you so much to Jason Peace. Hey bro, how are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am very excited to be here. Just thrilled to be listening to Big Finish with all of you. This is going to be exciting. One of the longer live streams that we've done. So I'm very, very excited to be here. How are you? I hope you and your family are well. To everybody in the chat, how are you doing? Do you have anything to drink with you? I think during the break I might go down and grab some seltzer, but I'm glad to be here. Just glad to be here and experiencing more Doctor Who in these live streams. Very, very excited. I for a long time I've been wanting to make custom DVD covers for every Big Finish audio that I own, and just be able to put them in chronological order amongst the DVDs. And I don't know if anybody else thinks that sounds like a cool idea, but I think it would be amazing. It just involves creating artwork for a thousand releases probably. The Eye of Horus says, a wild Eye of Horus has appeared. Whoa! Hey! One out, just out of the blue. Good to see Eye of Horus here. OJW says, I was up till 3 a.m. getting my Impossible Girl complete timeline thing. Basically, her jumping into the Doctor's adventures to 3 million words. Wow. Dang, that sounds like a long timeline. But nice, that's awesome. I love a good Doctor Who timeline. Patrick Sherd says, what do you think of the 8th Doctor title theme for Big Finish? Because I love it so much. I love it too. It's great. We're going to be listening to it several times now in the stream, so I'll make sure to give my comments on it. I love the 8th Doctor adventures. I love the 8th Doctor main range. The 8th Doctor has just been made so good by Big Finish. I think that the 8th Doctor adventures are a better place to start if you are a new series fan and trying to get into the 8th Doctor. If you're already a classic series fan, yes to the 8th Doctor adventures, please. They're amazing. But also, I think the monthly 8th Doctor adventures are a better place to start because you're used to that 4-part, 25-minute format. The Rebel of Time says, same here, Patrick. Dan Johnson says, I think I have an idea to get listening to both. I'll try to set it up during the break. Dan, that's amazing. I'd love for you to be able to hear both. Normally, I just ignore the episode that's running, or I don't ignore it fully, but I'm talking with the chat. So it's going to be interesting to have an audio going in my ear because I'll sort of be talking over it more so than I would during a normal stream. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm very, very excited. Eye of Horse says, where would you put stories that have characters from later Doctors crossover with earlier Doctors on your shelf? Aha, that's a very good question. I would put the Sixth Doctor and Charlie stuff on, like, with the other Sixth Doctor adventures. But if I were to do just a marathon of those, I would listen to those in release order. But that's a very good question. It would be cool to kind of listen to them from the Doctor's timeline, but I'm not sure you get the best appreciation of the stories that way. And then Patrick Sherwood, Benjamin Kazooie says, I love that theme. Have listened to the Eighth Doctor main range up to the Twilight Kingdom, one of my favorite series. I've listened to, I got through the Eighth Doctor all the way up until, I believe, Time of the Daleks. And then I just sort of fell off the big... Oh, no, I think I went... Yeah, I think I stopped just the first 50 Eighth Doctor audios, and then I went on to other Big Finish adventures. I listened to all of the Eighth Doctor adventures, but now I'm going back through the main range. I'm up to, I just finished this Shadow of the Scourge, so coming up to some Eighth Doctor once again. The Rebel Times has got my cereal dinner here. Time to listen. Nice. Oh, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit play. There we go. It's the Eighth Doctor theme. I think I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. I got talking. Gary Contois in the house says, enjoy. Thank you so much. The Rebel Time. We started, Alex. Yeah, you're on top of it. I think I'm a couple of seconds late, but that's fine. I love this theme. I love it when it's a very rhythmic, very energetic theme. I like it. Evan Cunningham says, this theme, though, Patrick Sherwood, what is your favorite Big Finish Doctor and companion team up? Oh, Eighth Doctor and Lucy is very, very high up there. Fourth Doctor and Leela, love in Big Finish. Very good. I think those are my top two. Vorp, Evander Kazooie 59 says. Karen Carter says, what is SoundCloud? It is a music and audio listening platform. You can listen to this for free over on SoundCloud. Reb10 says, I started at the same time as Alex. Nice! We're synced up. I just sent the SoundCloud link. Yeah, it's Evan Cunningham says it's a music streaming site. Yeah. And you can access the episode for free there. It's the Eighth Doctor! Oh, and I love Seventh Doctor and Ace and Big Finish too. Aiden Phillips, welcome to the stream. Hello. You're welcome, Karen. The Eighth Doctor is so underrated. It's like just a lovely little gem to find. Is he going... The Doctor wants to go back to the randomizer. This is true. OJW says, I love how the chat gets the links and each time it's a mystery as to what link it is because we're not in sync. Yes. That's the SoundCloud link, but obviously we're out of sync. I am 3 minutes and 45 seconds in, Karen. Aiden Phillips says, I wish the Eighth Doctor had at least one full season. Yes! Oh my gosh. I mean, the Eighth Doctor adventures show us that. Like, Series 1, great. Series 2, even better. Series 3, amazing. Series 4, incredible. Just gets better and better, in my opinion. I think one of my favorites is The Cannibalists. That it's not what you think it is, and it's great. Patrick Short says, Alex, what is to you a great jumping on point with Big Finish? The arrival time 2 seconds ahead of you. Karen Carter says 1:33, Alex. Okay, well, hopefully we can all get resynced up at 8 p.m. or 3 p.m. EST. The Eighth Doctor needs a season. Yes, I agree. Slaybog Guy. I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Banjo Kazooie 59 says, I think the Storm Warning is a great starting point. On the My Love for Doctor Who YouTube channel, I have a video about starting points for Big Finish, sort of a Big Finish beginner's guide. But I'll give you my live opinion as well. But that's like a 25-minute beginner's guide to Big Finish. All right, so Big Finish guide, start beginner's guide. I'm actually saying what the links are when I send them now. I think the great places to start is the main range, just from the beginning. Listen to them in order. They're nice and quite cheap, and often we've had some recent sales on them. So I highly suggest main range 1 to 100. And I would definitely suggest the Fourth Doctor Adventures and the Eighth Doctor Adventures. Those are great places to start if you love those Doctors. If a sale comes along, definitely get that. The 4 Paul Spragg Memorial short trips, they're available for free, and they are high quality. They had sort of amateur writers or writers who had never written for Big Finish before enter into a competition to write the best short trip and sort of pitch it and give a sample of it. And so these stories are really well written because they've risen to the top of the competition, and so they're all really good. So I highly suggest those. Those are free. So whatever's free, whatever you can listen to in the order it was released, that's definitely the best way to make sure you don't miss anything. And for whatever Doctor you're excited about, the First Doctor Adventures, Third Doctor Adventures. I haven't personally listened to those, but those seem like great starting on points. Karen Carter says, to me, the girl sounds like Sarah Jane. Oh, yeah. Aiden Phillips says, Big Finish should release collection CD sets like the Blu-rays for these stories. I think that's a great idea. They've stopped making the CDs individually for a lot of their older releases, and they're just available on download. But I think re-releasing them in giant sets, man, that could make them a lot of money, and I know that because I would spend a lot of money on that too. Hello, Who's Books? Glad to see you. The irony of singing Silent Night would have been too much to bear. We've got the clock ticking in the background. It's part of what chimes at midnight, You're not going to get away from the chimes. I was trying to factor Clara into the ultimate foe in the timeline, OJW says, and because I wanted a 3 million words so much, that section is about 10,000 words longer than the rest. Wow, that sounds like you've written a ton on the subject. What is everybody's timestamp right now for how far you are into the stream? Got a new video coming tomorrow, Whose Book says. Awesome. Is it Doctor Who related? And what is it about? The Rebel Time says, this is great so far. Sounds like a proper original Doctor Who story. Also about CDs, there are some out there in the wild on eBay with the original sort of VHS releases of the first ever audios, Alex. Definitely like on Instagram or Twitter, just on Twitter message me links to those because I want to see what those look like. They sound cool. I would love like a Big Finish release about 8:20. Okay. Banjo Kazooie 59 is 8 minutes 20 in. I have Forrest said that they said that the reason they're cutting down on the amount of physical CDs is that plastic CD jewel cases are very unenvironmentally friendly. $8.40 now, OJW says. All right. Yeah, I'm about 9 minutes, 5 seconds in. See, the thing about plastic CD jewel cases is that they also damage so easily. It seems like you look at them the wrong way and they get a new scratch. So, Karen Carter says, "Oh, Alex, I bought another Tom Baker Blu-ray. That's amazing. Which one did you get?" Oh my gosh. Oh, Whose Book says, "Sorry, I mean, have you got a new video coming tomorrow?" I hope so. We'll find out. That's sort of the plan, but I will need to film it today and edit it, so I might sort of run out of time there. Doing all these streams is sort of taking up my attention at the moment, but I've got a big project that I'm working on. It's a secret. It involves a Doctor Who collector's app that I'm building, so I need to polish that off because I want to get that out soon. So yeah, that's what I want to also focus on too. So hopefully, but we will be going live tomorrow to watch The Happiness Patrol, and I'm doing that with my brother in person. He'll be with here hopefully if he's feeling up to it, and my sister will be joining and will be in the chat as well. So, man. Banjo-Kazooie59 says, "Still no update on my Season 12 Blu-ray set. Very annoyed with Zavi." Yeah. Really, a lot of... I think almost everybody has gotten it so far. For the Season 12 re-releases. There's I really hope that events like this can get more people into Big Finish, because it really is a lovely thing. Reb10's all sorts. Did you say you're making a Doctor Who app, Alex? Yes, a Doctor Who collector's app. Whose Book says excited for that. Karen Carter says Season 7, it was under 25. Yes, Tom Baker, the complete Season 7. Yeah, it's like $23 now on Amazon, which is very, very exciting. That's awesome. Aiden Phillips says, "I'm wondering if Season 14 will arrive with Tom." Yeah, will arrive. Yeah, Aiden, that I hope it arrives soon for you. Yeah, it's a Doctor Who collector's app, a DVD and Blu-ray collector's app. There's a Region 2 app and a Region 1 app, and they're technically links to web pages that look like apps. It's a company that allows you to build an app based off of spreadsheets, and so I'm very, very excited for it. And I'm going to be able to update it as soon as new releases come out, and it's going to link to Amazon and eBay, but I've got to put in all of those links individually. It's going to give you information on each release. And what's exciting to me is that it allows you to sort DVD releases by season, by release year, by companion, by episode writer, by in story order, or by release date, by type of release. It's really, really very exciting. But I'll save the reveal for a future video. Kara Gardner says, "You might want to ask your brother and sister if they know your intern. He kind of looks like your grandmother and a little like your brother-in-law." Oh yeah. I'm excited to have him on the stream. So I don't know if I can show you. This is what the app looks like. We've got all of the releases there, and they're in release order. You can tap on each release, and what I like about this is you can. It's web based, so you need a Wi-Fi connection, and then you've got the image there, a link to Amazon and eBay. Got the release title, release edition, release date, stories included. You get a list of other releases with the stories that are included on it, number of discs and information there, and then you could sort it by doctor, companions, writers. I'm excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good to see you, Banjo-Kazooie59. Thanks for dropping by. And what's fun... Oh, I got to show you the best part of this. You can hit the I want this button, and if you signed in with Gmail or an email on the app, it will keep track of all of those releases that you've marked as having wanted this. The app will be coming out soon. It's not finished yet. I still get quite a lot of work to do on it, but it's coming out very, very soon. So, and it should work on Android. My phone is an Android or a type of Android. It's a track phone, and then it also works on iPhone. So it's coming soon, and I'm very, very excited about it. And it should work on all platforms because it technically links you to a web page that looks and acts like an app. So you will need Wi-Fi to work the app, and I'll be releasing tutorials on how to download it and how to use it, and I'll be making videos based off of it. But I'm just very excited that you can say, okay, I want to see all of the DVDs in Region 2 and Blu-rays to be released with a Robert Holmes story on them. And you can find that. So, yeah. McGann is on the Big Finish Twitter right now. He posted his first tweet. Get out of here. Oh, seriously? I didn't know McGann was going to be on the Big Finish Twitter. Get out of here. Big Finish Paul says, definitely fruit. Hashtag plum pudding. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Paul McGann is on Big Finish tweeting. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I found a plum pudding. Reb10, will we be able to get it on the App Store, though? You will be able to get it with the link that I will share with it. It'll link you to... There'll be a download link, and that's how you get it. You can access this webpage. Will you be able to access this webpage on desktop as well? Banjo-Kazooie59 says yes. You can access it on desktop, and that's gonna be a fun way that you can do it as well. It looks like a little phone on the webpage, which is quite cool. So it makes you feel like it's on a phone, even though you're on desktop. Aiden Phillips, it's not out yet, but it will be out soon. Ivor says, can you sort by production order? Because technically Silver Nemesis is set after The Greatest Show. You cannot... You can do many crazy things with sorting this app. You can do it by episode broadcast date and by release date for the DVDs, but not by production story order. Although that would I could conceivably do that. And that's just a matter of more work with the on my end, but I could conceivably do that with the app. Who do you think is the king of Big Finish? Is it Tom Baker or Paul McGann? Whose books? Oh, that's not a fair question to ask. I think if Tom Baker is going to be the king of a TV Doctor Who, then we'll make Paul McGann the king of audio Doctor Who. But I could go either way. Reb 10's all sorts. Is it like the TARDIS library? It's that, that's one thing. It's definitely a lot like the TARDIS library. The TARDIS library is obviously going to be your go-to for a desktop option. It's got way more functionality as far as keeping track of your collection and linking to more places and more in-depth information. But this is the only mobile app I know of its kind, and it does allow you to sort your collection or to sort all of the releases in more ways than you would be able to on timelash.com. So yeah, the TARDIS library. So yeah, it's I've often wanted to do something like this, and doing it on a website it was like, well, I would just be doubling the TARDIS library, but being able to do it on a phone is so exciting. OJW says that's such a cool idea. I probably don't go a day without swapping my DVDs around because some of the box sets contain episodes from various Doctors, right? Yeah, you could sort by all of the box sets. You could sort by all the episodes with Jamie in them, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Sort by season, by writer. Rebel Time says also, Alex, if you look under Paul's tweet, Big Finish said From now until 9 p.m., Paul McGann, the Eighth Doctor, will be taking over our Twitter feed. Yeah, that's so cool. You've left me with nothing to lose. Paul, do you reckon your man stole this idea for Downton Abbey? There is a very Downton Abbey feel to this. Robert Sherman says, I wrote Chimes very speedily over a single week. Day one would be part 1, day 2 panicking because I had no idea what would happen next. Wow. That's so cool. I4 says, I don't like the TARDIS library doesn't allow you to note that you have the 5 companions and the 4 doctors because they are subscription exclusives. Oh, yeah. That would be nice to be able to do it. And Philip says, how many parts is this? This is 4 parts. 4 parts. Like all of the main range adventures should be 4 parts. Karen Carter, I didn't check who's doing the Doctors who have passed on Big Finish, so a lot of the time they will either have an existing companion do the Doctor's voice, so like Fraser Hines might do a Patrick Troughton impression for the Companion Chronicles, or you might have Peter Purvis, who played Stephen, doing a First Doctor impression. Now, though, they're having Tim Treloar for all of the Third Doctor Adventures box sets. I believe the 6th one is coming out. Tim Treloar does the Third Doctor, and they also have David Bradley now doing First Doctor Adventures for that series. So he does the he does the First Doctor Adventures for Big Finish. So he does the First Doctor, and then I think mostly it's Fraser Hines doing Patrick Troughton. Now working double shift. I hope he gets paid double, but he might not. OJW said, who here would read about a war between the Black Guardian and the White Guardian? Definitely. That sounds awesome. Whose books? I rewatched the first story from the season 23 box set for the second time, and it is one of my favorite stories from the classic era. Nice. So, The Mysterious Planet. Luke says, I missed the start of this story. Is this standalone? I believe so. It's been a couple of years since I've listened, but I believe it's a standalone. Man, wrote this. Robert Sherman tweeted that he wrote this in a week. That's crazy. Barnaby Edwards says, Rob's script was staggeringly complete when it arrived on my doorstep. It was 99% studio ready, culinary adjustments aside, and one of the most perfect scripts that ever landed in my directorial lap. #plum pudding. That's really cool. You're very welcome, Luke. This is so much fun. The Big Finish is just the best. Mrs. Bradley's waving that knife, Paul says on Twitter. OJW says, I have a challenge, Alex. Try and factor grandma into the title of every Doctor Who story. Oh, wow. Oh, an unearthly grandma. The grandmas. The grandma of destruction. Grandma Polo. The keys of grandma. The grandmas. Also the grandmas, the Grandma of Terror, or the Reign of Grandma, Planet of Grandmas, the Grandma Invasion of Earth, the Grandma, the Grandmas, the Grandma Planet, the Grandmas, the Grandma Museum, the Grandma Meddler, the Time Meddler, the Time Grandma. I think that could work. Yeah, just there's. Aiden Phillips says, and I thought the Suicide Squad 6-month script turnaround was short. Right? Well, that's a little bit longer than what we. But well, maybe it's no. It might, the movie itself might be shorter. Ivor says, I assume he doesn't get paid double. He gets paid to be there for the time of recording. That doesn't change for how many characters he plays. Ivor says, yeah, a nice little bonus. But I think the Big Finish lunches are enough of a bonus. And I think most Big Finish actors would do it out of love and also would do it for the Big Finish lunches. That's a lot of grandmas, Karen Carter says, right? Right? Yeah, just a lot of them if you replace the word in there. It would be fun, yeah. Alright, good luck with your project, OJW. Seriously, it sounds like a lot of work, but best of luck to you. The 8th Doctor version of the theme, Ivor says, is my favorite version of the Doctor Who theme. That's awesome. You're in luck, because we're going to listen to it 3 more times today. Whose Book says Grandma has to watch all the classics to get her to watch New Who. Whose Books, yes. Through of time, who wants to know my top 5 favorite Doctor Who stories of all time? Go right ahead. Let us know. Let us have them. The Happiness Patrol better be in that top 5. I'm just. All right. What's going on? Don't creep up on me. Charlie, I'm enjoying. I haven't gotten to the 8th Doctor yet in my main range marathon. I'm 13 stories in. I just finished Shadow of the Scourge, and next up will be. What's up next? The Holy Terror is next. But, yeah, so I'm excited about that. I've got a little bit of voice before I get to some of the 8th Doctor ones, but that's only 16, so I'm getting close. Alright, the Rebel of Time says, number 1 is Remembrance of the Daleks. Number 2, Inferno. Genesis of the Daleks is 3. Resurrection is 4, and The Seeds of Death is 5. Nice. I'm glad to see some love for The Seeds of Death. Ivor says, getting a bit ahead of myself, but the climax of this story is heartbreaking. Oh boy. Karen Carter says, I don't know if we should make Grandma watch more Doctor Who. She was knitting with a pencil last time I saw her. She was in the Big Night In sketch that I did recently, and she was knitting with some sonic screwdrivers just then. Standing right here, man. And 6, all of the 9th Doctor in the Rebel of Time says, yes, can't choose, just throw it all in there. There are so few episodes. Redton's All Sorts, what's the app's name if you decided? I was so far thinking of something straightforward, but I don't quite know yet. I'd love your suggestions on my Region 2 Doctor Who DVD and Blu-ray Collectors app, as well as my Region 1 Doctor Who and DVD Collectors app. I don't know. Sort of, yeah. I haven't chosen anything yet, but I've got to do the logo as well before I release it. I've just got some sort of basic DVDs as the logo currently, but yeah. Banjo Kazooie 59 says, I never really got Remembrance of the Daleks, but I like it, but still would rather watch Fenric or Genesis. And Philip says you should call it Who Plus. Like Disney Plus, but for Doctor Who. Alright. It's another theme. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. After this, we'll take a break and hit play for parts 3 and 4 at 8 p.m. BST. That's 3 p.m. EST. Karen Carter says, no, it looks like a pencil and a sonic screwdriver. I think the lockdown is getting to her. Yeah, it's the sonic pen and the sonic screwdriver. When the doctor is like, let's get back to the TARDIS now, gosh, you know things are scary, right? Whose Book says, will you be collecting more spin-offs in Region 1 and 2 on DVD and Blu-ray? That is my goal. That is on my list to do, for sure. I need some Torchwood. I don't have any Torchwood. You would think that I would by this point. But I don't have any Torchwood yet. I don't want to complete my Sarah Jane Region 1 collection. I have Series 1, 2, and 3. My sister gave those to me. But I need 4 and 5. And I'd like to have the complete K9. I only have Series 1, Volume 1 for K9. But, oh gosh. Banjo-Kazooie59 says, have you watched any real-time spin-offs? Downtime, Demons of Devil End, Mythmakers interviews. I've watched Downtime, but other than that, none of those. The doctor's trying to save the scullery maid. Robert Sherman says, I just wanted so hard to avoid the usual cliche where the doctor gets mistaken for the suspect. I went the other direction for comic effect. Aha. That is nice. Barnaby Edwards had shared a map of the house, which I used to help both the actors and the sound designer. That's so cool. Oh, that's cool. He's mapped out the house so that the actors and the sound designers get a better idea of where everything is. That's really cool. The Rebel Times says, I get another box set of a different BBC spin-off, Blake 7, Series 4, made by Terry Nation. Found it in the same shop where Borrow Time and We'll Find Time to Watch It. That's very, very cool. I've heard of Blake 7 and that it's very, very good. So that's awesome. Torchwood is great, Whose Book says. It's scary when the master wants to get back in the TARDIS, Karen Carter says. Yeah. It's all about the plum puddings, Reb Tens All Sorts says. Don't he talk posh? Yes. And I love Rob's writing, Barnaby Edwards says. Edith was too stupid to know that it was impossible to drown herself. Oh, gosh. When I've got my plum puddings ready and cooling. It is all about the plum puddings. The doctor's instead assumed to be an inspector. John Hufford, is there any Region 1 Blake 7? That's a good question. I shall search Amazon for that. Is there a Region 1 Blake 7 release? Let's see. I'm just seeing Region 2 imports so far. Yeah. Just looks like UK releases. Thanks for the question, though, John. Yes, Karen. I'm in the middle of the house, so sometimes people will have to walk through to get to the other side. But yes, either that or my cat, or your cat is bigger than mine. Yes, I have a giant cat. Wouldn't that be lovely? No, far too many people in my family are allergic to pets. Not too allergic, but yeah, my mom is for sure. So never had any pets growing up. but I would love a cat. I feel like just having a Doctor Who guide cat would bring in so many views. It really would. Put that on the Instagram, just like your cat with a Doctor Who DVD. Be like tonight's watching, you know. It would just be it'd be great, you know. Survival. We'd be watching Survival with all the cats. I just oh boy, but yeah, I do not have a giant cat, sadly. The Doctor, I'm the detective. That's also it says. Ivor says, I believe Classic Who is gonna get UK reruns to make up for the gap in the schedule left from Corona stopping most of the show's filming. That would be great, Ivorus. Detective Who, Reptens all sorts says. Regardless says, hi, Patterson family. I will let him know you said hello. Paul McGann says Dr. Poirot, if I can speak. Dr. Poirot. That's great. Dr. Holmes. It's harsh how he's like, she will be missed for her work. Gosh. Like David Tennant did with his youngest watching a Doctor Who episode. Yeah, Karen. Ugh. Now, ironically, I bet I'm not the only one who listens to Big Finish whilst doing dishes. So, it's yeah. The Rebel of Time says, my copy of The Faceless Ones didn't arrive yet. Emailed Zoom about this. If they are willing to send a free copy, which will arrive very soon possibly, do you mind if I send it to you for Region 2? Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. If you end up with any doubles, I would love to receive them if you want to send them along. But yeah, thank you. That's so kind. So kind. Where were you when Edith was murdered? Dun dun dun. Robert Shearman says it's the absolutely casual way they all respond to death and the speed at which they assert it's suicide that is fun because it's funny, but it is a real clue. I'd like a piece of plum pudding, Red All Sorts says. Aiden Phillips says, I'm triple tasking, watching you, listening to Chimes, and doing my art. That's awesome. What are you working on for your art? That's so cool. Whose book says, who has been collecting the Doctor Who figurine collection? I stopped collecting them after issue 135 because of money. Whose books? That's amazing. You got 135 figurines? Or did you start and just stopped at issue 135? That's crazy. I mean, I'd love the Doctor Who figurines, but there are just certain areas like Pop Funkos, figurines, even action figures that I know once I start collecting them, I'm never going to be able to stop. So you got to pick and choose. It's DVDs and Blu-rays and Big Finish that I'm focusing on right now. And Philip says, I subscribed when it started in 2013 for my birthday. Only got 12 issues. Well, that's cool, though. It's 11 more than I have. I got the Omega figurine at just sort of loose in at a convention. So that's 11 more issues than I have. Rebel of Time says, whose books have only Funko Pop Tom Baker and TARDIS with Dalek Emperor and Dalek action figure? Nice. I have a Davros Pop Funko and a 10th Doctor Pop Funko and a 13th Doctor Pop Funko, but that's it. Aiden Phillips says, I'm working on my identity poster. Unsurprisingly, it's mainly Who related. Nice. I can relate to that. That's great. When I originally started this stream, I had download spelled boundload, so I fixed that quickly, but This is like a game of Clue. Dr. Clue. Oh! I need to tweet that out. I have never had a plum pudding. Yeah, I think Dr. Clue, that'll catch on. A Clue version of Doctor Who. SL Productions, hello! Oh my gosh, SL Productions in the house. Another amazing Doctor Who YouTuber. Definitely check out SL Productions channel. Oh my gosh, SL Productions has run the Doctor Who, the top 50 YouTubers for the past 4 years, was it? Oh my gosh. I love that competition, and not only because I got to win it one year and have Matt Smith, that would have been great, Matt Lucas read out the winners. That was so amazing. Let's see. Character option stuff is nice, John Hufford says. That's cool. The Rebel Time says, I delayed my Log Obelisk and Cast Revolver rewatches to the 9th of May and the 10th of May. Hopefully you can join in. That's cool. Definitely follow the Rebel of Time on Twitter if you want to hear about those rewatches. Heyo, I Have Horses back. SL Production says, on hiatus at the moment, need to start again. Hey, it's a lot of work making Doctor Who videos. I should know. So yeah, and oftentimes people take breaks from their channels to do even more work. So I totally get it. If you need a break to rest or to do even more different types of work, then I totally get that. And I'm a loyal subscriber, and I can't wait to see any of your future videos. Karen Gardner says, Alex, there are people who modify Titan figures. I have a Roger Delgado modified one. I think it was originally a 9th Doctor. That's so cool. Wow. If you can, send me a picture of that. You can email me, the Doctor Who Guide, 1963@gmail.com. Let's see, how far in are we? 41 minutes. Whoa. I'm swapping to my phone. Probably may have heard that sound, the theme just playing there, because let's see, we're 41 minutes in, because my computer is sort of malfunctioning. Like half of the tracks are going silent all of a sudden, so I had to download this. Alright, I think we're 42 minutes in, right? Oh gosh, we have ghosts. It's officially hauntings going on here. I've seen some impressive custom figures, action figures on YouTube and stuff, and I always think that's fun. I think they should release an action figure set for every single Doctor Who story, which I know is asking them to make like 160 action figure sets, but wouldn't that be cool? Oh my gosh. The chimes, the chimes. Another accident. Oh gosh. Barnaby Edward. Oh, India Fisher says it's all in the writing. Hashtag plum pudding. Barnaby Edwards says, fortunately, the schedule helped us recoup from a significant part of this loss, but it was still touch and go right up until the moment we wrapped. Bang on schedule at 6 p.m. the following evening. Barnaby Edwards says, as it turned out, Invaders ate into a good 2/3 of our recording time that first day, and thus we lost around a fifth of our total studio time for Chimes. That's crazy. But fortunately, the schedule helped us recoup a significant part of the loss, but it was still touch and go right up until the moment we wrapped, bang on the schedule, 6 p.m. the following evening. That's amazing. Wow. Things do not always go to plan on recording sessions. I have the third Dr. Titan 2 Karen Carter says it's awesome. OJW says the grandma's master plan would make an excellent novella. Right? Let's see. The Grandma Dilemma. Vengeance of Grandma. Vengeance. Different titles would definitely work. The Time of Grandma. Amateur sleuths. Barnaby Edwards says post-production was a similar frenzy of concentrated creativity. Although there was over a year between the recording of Chimes and its release, we didn't start post-production until appropriately Christmas, less than 6 weeks before it was due at the pressing plant. Wow. India Fisher says, funny, I don't remember the time constraints. I just remember it being such a brilliant play to record and huge fun. This is definitely going to be a more personal live tweeting session because there's only about 89 subscribers to the list versus the several hundred for the official Doctor Who lockdown ones. So if you're on Twitter, this would be a great time to interact with the 5 people who are tweeting, which is Paul McGann from the Big Finish Twitter, Barnaby Edwards, Kenny, Robert Shearman, and India Fisher. I believe it's Kenny Smith, yes. Kenny, hashtag Plum Pudding Smith, yes. You are brilliant! That's a 13th Doctor's theme, catchphrase. We are 46 minutes in on part 2. I'm not sure which track we're on. I'm listening to I've got the 4 parts on my phone. Can we just have an audio call called The Chimes of Grandma? Patrick Sherwood says yes. The Chimes of Grandma. The name of Grandma is as much of a mystery as the name of the Doctor. Yes, right? Grandma is Grandma. Just call her Grandma, you know? Being disappointed when the person you're in love with didn't murder somebody. Kenny, hashtag Plum Pudding Smith says he takes from the TARDIS and they try to escape, but he always lands back in the same position, still waiting midnight. Jason P says, is it midnight from season 4? Yes. The chimes of the season 4, series 4 episode. That's what this is. Oh, memory's starting to go. Robert Shearman says, I remember Stephen Moffat telling me years later how he got similarly stuck writing Blink, how to find the clever thing in plain sight that'll get you out of the corner you've painted yourself into. Dang. Whoa. Get out of here. Patrick Sherwood has made... Oh my word. Oh, that is incredible. It's a domino of main range audio CDs. Oh my gosh, that is the best thing ever. That went fast. Oh, Patrick Sherwood, that is brilliant. Oh, I'm going to share the link in the chat. Oh no, a Will of the Maddox did it, but Patrick Sherwood has tagged me in it. A Will of the Maddox at Maddox Pro tweets. That's hilarious. Okay, wow. Check that out. That's fun. Rep 10's all sorts is Grandma, she is actually a Time Lord in secret. She is the grandma. Yes, yes. The Rebel of Time says, tomorrow on your Happiness will prevail. Oops, wrong thing. I mean, the Happiness Patrol stream. I'll focus more on the story, but we'll still be on your stream to pop in and help out. Yeah, totally. It's going to be fun. We will be watching the Happiness Patrol tomorrow at 7 p.m. BST and 2 p.m. EST. At Maddox Pro Tweets has made a domino of Big Finish audio CDs. That's amazing. Wow, that is great. We're from upstairs. Upstairs or upstairs downstairs? Barnaby Edwards has shared the words to Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Says, feel free to sing along. That is great. Another cliffhanger on the way, Robert Sherman says. Ooh, some nice low notes to know things are getting creepy. John Fisher says, I believe that Grandma prefers Time Lady at Rep 10's all sorts. Who says, right, sorry, I'm sorry, Grandma. And Philip says, Grandma in the library and Forest of the Grandma, anyone? Rebel of Time says, hey, John Fisher, how are you feeling? Hey, John Fisher, in the chat, how are you? Welcome. We are 52 minutes into the Chimes of Midnight. John Fisher says, I'm feeling fine, just got off work for the day, hope you are well. Oh, wow, thanks for popping by. You must be tired. Time is running away. That's just a creepy line. 3 minutes left to part 2, Alex Rebel Time says, yes. It's, yeah, 1.5 minutes. $11:39. The Chimes of Midnight. Nobody remembers Edith. Poor Edith. John Fisher says, hello, good to see you. Oh, Karen Carter says, how about the husbands of Grandma? Yeah. I do think it's canon that Grandma has had multiple marriages, but I think that was mentioned in one of the Grandma Reacts. It's midnight! The Chimes of Midnight! The Chimes of Midnight! It's the cliffhanger! Oh boy. Okay. The grandma who fell to earth, Aiden Phillips says. Okay. Well, don't go on to part 3. unless, of course, you're listening to this on SoundCloud, in which case keep it playing. But we will start part 3 at on the hour. So it's too bad we weren't. Is it midnight for anybody who's listening to this? I don't think so, but. Important, the Chimes of Midnight listening party info. If you're listening to the SoundCloud, let it run. If you're listening at home on vinyl CD or the Big Finish app, then start part 3 at 8 p.m. sharp. So we've got 5 minutes. John Fisher says, how about the greatest grandma in the galaxy? Loving grandmas, Grandma Shock, the pirate grandma. I could go on and on. The brain of grandma, Banjo Kazooie 59 says, right? The keeper of grandma. At the Rebel Times says Resurrection of the Grandma, Remembrance of the Grandma. You guys keep giving Doctor Who episode titles with grandma in them. I'm going to go run and grab a seltzer, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I am back. Let's see what episodes you guys have suggested a lot of Doctor Who episodes with grandma in the title. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So Karen Carter says, "How about the husbands of grandma?" LJW says, "The grandma at the end of the world." And Phillips says, "The grandma who fell to earth." Banjo Kazooie 59, "The brain of grandma." John Fisher suggested the greatest grandma in the galaxy, loving grandmas, Grandma Shock, the pirate grandma. I could go on and on. That's going to be fun. The Rebel Times says the keeper of grandma, resurrection of the grandma, remembrance of the grandma. Banjo Kazooie 59 says revelation of the grandma. I have Horace says I'm living for this intermission music. Oh, that's cool. Nice. I didn't know there was intermission music. Yeah, if you're on SoundCloud, let it play. And then if you're on a device, in 3 minutes we'll be hitting start, hitting play on part 3. Aiden Phillips says the grandma of Fenric, the Rebel of Time, the curse of grandma. Ive Horace says the grandma planet. Banjo Kazooie 59 says that we already had the grandma invasion. Aiden Phillips says grandmas in crime. OJW says grandma Valva. Excuse me, Ark of the Grandma, Grandmopolis. Grandmopolis. Grandmas in the UK, Image of the Grandma, The Idiot's Grandma, Fear Grandma. Yeah, The Runaway Grandma, The Trial of Grandma. If I remember the layout of Alex's house properly, John Richard says, I hope he's not streaming from outside his bathroom wall. No, I am not right outside the bathroom, but there's like a little bit of a hallway before then. So yes. But the Ive Horror says the doctor's grandma. That's great. Yep. Grandma Carter says I sent you an email with the Titans figures. Awesome. I'll check that out. T-minus 2 minutes. I'm not gonna miss it. Last time I was a couple seconds late. I'm not gonna miss it this time. At least I hope not to. I've got my seltzer. I don't know what you guys are drinking, but I have some seltzer. don't see your email yet, Karen, but I will keep checking. Sometimes it just might take a little while. And we got less than a minute before we hit play. The Grandma Makers, The Trial of a Grandma, The Grandmas of Wang Chang, The Horns of Grandma, The Enemy of the Grandma, Karen Carter says. Oh, wow. Image of the Grandma, Benjamin59 says. All right. I'm waiting for it to turn 3, guys. Or 8, depending on when you're watching. But on the hour, gonna hit play any moment now. Less than 60 seconds from now. That's what I can tell you. Full Grandma. State of Grandma. Grandma of Decay. Warrior's Grandma. Grandma's Gate. All right, we're almost there. As soon as it turns 1, I'll do a countdown from 5. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. The 8th Doctor theme. Start now. Hit play. Part 3 is starting. The great 8th Doctor theme. Nice theme. Gotta love it. Part 3, everybody. Part 3. Ooh, Doctor Who's on again, Robert Sherman says. Something so exciting about hearing that big finish Doctor Who theme when you're about to start on another adventure, another episode. It's Edith. The Keeper of Grandma. OGW says, I Force the Grandma of Fear. Aiden Phillips, Revenge of the Grandma. Karen Carter, The Timeless Grandma. Last of the Grandma, Big Finish. Bandrick59 says, I've Horse, The Grandma Invasion of Earth, right? Whose book says something, brought some tissues, ready for the tribute of Elizabeth Sladen on the season 14 Blu-ray that I'll be getting on Monday. Yeah, stockpile of those. My gosh. My Love for Doctor Who says, my vinyls were dispatched today, Sunmakers and The Visitation. I seem to remember you got a great deal on those. Aiden Phillips says, yep, I have a feeling that's going to be a tearjerker. Oh my gosh, yes. Alright, I'm going to have my orange. Comment down below if you know what tell me what a plum pudding is, because I've never had a plum pudding. And I want to know what it's like. Describe it to me. Sir Meowsalot89, hello everyone. Sneaking on while I'm at work. Oh, hello. So dedicated to these streams. Thank you for popping in. Banjo-Kazooie59 says, Year of the Grandmas, The Grandma Cheats, The Veiled Grandma, The Secret Grandma, all Big Finish titles. Ivor's Bad Grandma. My Love for Doctor Who says, yeah, $22.99 for the pair. Man, I was about to buy that, but I think I waited too long. And I missed the deal. That's a good deal for 2 vinyls. Her grandma. Okay. Reptins all sorts says. OJW says, anyone want to help with the audio adventure of the Song of the Impossible Girl? About 400 parts up if anyone up for it. Wow. That's a lot. I'm not sure if I'm up to 400 parts, but I'm always down to help with an audio. Karen Carter says, all I know is it is not made with plums? What? I suppose I could Google this. Plum pudding is Christmas pudding. Uh-huh. Pudding in the U.S. is very different. Is it like a bread pudding? Grandma who waited, Karen Carter says. The prisoner of the grandma, John Fisher says. Let's see. Plum pudding. Alright. Christmas pudding is a type of pudding traditionally served as part of the Christmas dinner in the UK, Ireland, and other countries. Okay, that's not very helpful. And let's see. Sort of like a fruitcake, then. I'm guessing. Let's see. What is? What is plum pudding? Okay, so like a fruitcake. And Philip says, do you have pecan pie? I used to love my American aunt's pecan pie. Oh, yes. Pecan pie every Thanksgiving. Pecan pie is the best. Oh, so sweet. I love it. Oh my gosh, yes. Ivor says it's disgusting. That's what it is. My love for Dr. Who says, still trying to track down seasons 10 and 19 for good prices. Oh gosh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, good luck with that. For finding good prices for Blu-rays, it's just been Facebook Marketplace. I'm telling you, that's where to look. Benji Kazoo 59 says Christmas pudding is a traditional English thing. There's often a coin in it for someone to find. Wow, how do you not break a tooth on that? OJW says, all right, tortured episodes: Grandma, Grandma, Bang Bang, Grandma Machine, Cyber Grandma, Small Grandmas, Grandma Side, gosh, Grandmas Bearing Gifts, Random Grandmas, End of Grandmas. Reptens all sorts of Christmas pudding is like a fruitcake with rum and in the shape of a dome. Yeah, okay. I like fruitcake. Dan Johnson says it's horrible. It's always brought and no one eats it. Christmas pudding. Oh, it's always bought. Whose books? My love for Doctor Who. Same. I only need season 10 box set on eBay. It has been going for 140 or 130 pounds. Yikes. Man, that's crazy. Thin Grandma, Aiden Phillips says. The Rebel of Time says, hopefully my season 14 Blu-ray copy gets sent on Sunday. My mom ordered it as soon as she can. She ordered on January 17th. Wow. 3 days after he started annoying her. Well, that's nice of her. Dan Johnson, I bought Series 10 on Steelbook last night, and it only cost me £50. Wow. How much is it going for? I know it's probably a lot. The 5 grandmas, OJW says. Sir Meowslot 89 says, remember, everyone, tomorrow is the Happiness Patrol. Hope to see everyone there. Happiness will prevail. Yes, 2 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. BST. Be there. We'll be watching Happiness Patrol tomorrow. I'll be joined by my brother live in person here, and my sister will be joining us in the chat. Repteds All Sorts says, I love Christmas pudding. And Philip says, Grandma, Grandma, and he guesses what episode that is. Knock, knock. Banjo Kazoo 59 says, I only need season 10, 14, and my season 12 to arrive. Nice. May I have more fruitcakes? Said no one ever. John Fisher says, yeah. Fruitcake is not many people like fruitcake. I've Horace says, whatever happened to Grandma, the lost Grandma, the nightmare Grandma. Some Patrick Kazoo 59 says, I've Horace, nice Sarah Jane adventures references. Yes. Dan Johnson says it's rather rare, so the steelbook goes for £70 at least. Nice. Well, you got saved £20. That's awesome. How many steelbooks do you have now? I should know this, but I've forgotten. Unimaginable power, unlimited rice pudding, etc., etc. Robo Time says. I think whenever Grandma's not in a video, everybody just comments, whatever happened to Grandma. That's it. Karen Carter says, my mom likes fruitcake, don't know why. Wow, so some people like it, but most people don't understand why, yeah. Whose books one day I will get season 10? Yes, one day I shall. Then there will be no regrets, no tears, no anxiety. Good reference. All right. Robert Shearman says, I'll be honest, when I wrote this, it was before Storm Warning came out, so I was writing Charlie a bit blind. Wow. Wow. You couldn't tell. The day of Grandma, Ivor says. The Rebel of Time says, so glad I got the special edition of Remembrance. The DVD is so nice, I can't express how much I love the story. That's so awesome. I'm glad you got to watch it today with your parents. And the Grandma in Space, Jaden Phillips says. Oof. Run over by a car. Yikes. To be killed by your own Chrysler or Bentley, whatever it was. Wow. The Grandma in Space, Aiden Phillips says. Forrest is the next Grandma, Planet of the Grandma, the Waters of Grandma, the End of Grandma. How about the Grandma of Mars? Back to work. It's just been a murder. Nothing to see here. Under the Grandma, the Abominable Grandma, the Grandma Fighters, the Grandma Dilemma. We gotta go through all of these guys. Let's see. Grandma from Space. The ambassadors of grandma. Oh, Doctor Who and the grandma. The grandmas. Inferno would just be grandma. Terror of the grandmas. The grandma of evil, or the mind of grandma. The grandma of Axos, or maybe the claws of grandma, I think is the better one. Grandma in space. The grandmas. Day of the grandma. The curse of grandma. The sea grandma. The grandmas. The time grandma. The three grandmas. Grandma of monsters, or carnival of grandmas. I like that better. Frontier in grandma, or grandma in space. Planet of the grandmas. The green grandma. The time grandma. Invasion of the grandmas. Death to the grandmas. The monster of grandma. Planet of the grandmas. Grandma. The grandma in space. The grandma experiment. Genesis of the grandmas. Revenge of the grandma. Terror of the grandmas. Planet of grandma, or grandma of evil. Grandma of Mars, or pyramids of grandma. The grandma invasion. The grandma of Morbius. The seeds of grandma. The grandma of doom. That's better. Thin grandma. Grandma. Can you tell which episode this is? Oh, is it Kerblam? The best box set you can buy for Doctor Who fans. The Grandma in Time collection. Rebel Time says, I stopped the story since my head is being mixed up with you talking in the story and everything got mixed up. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's hard to talk and listen at the same time. Oh gosh, but it's so kind of you guys to be like, you know what, I'm gonna skip listening to this. I'm gonna stop the episode and just listen to the stream. That's so kind of you. Can you hear Grandma? Banjo Kazooie 59 says. The robots of Grandma. That actually sounds really good. OJW, yeah, I think Grandmopolis should be made into an epic audio adventure, yes. The Chimes of Grandma. The Grandma Mandler. Grandma at Fang Rock Jump, Richard says. The Grandmas of Mars. The Day of the Grandma. Right? The Mask of Grandma. The Grandma of Fear. The Deadly Grandma. The Grandma of Evil. The Face of Grandma. The Robots of Grandma. The Talons of Grandma. Horror of Grandma. The Invisible Grandma. Image of the Grandma. The Sun Grandmas. Or the Grandma Makers. Oh, wow. Underworld would be what? Grandma World. Yes. The Grandma of Time. The Invasion of Grandma. The Grandma Operation. Oh, gosh. Oh, the Pirate Grandma. Oh, that sounds cool. The Grandma of Blood. The Androids of Grandma. The Power of Grandma. And the Grandma Factor. I think all of Season 16 sounds amazing as Grandma. The Grandma Operation. The Pirate Grandma. The Grandma of Blood. The Androids of Grandma. The Power of Grandma. And then the Grandma Factor. Destiny of Grandma. City of Grandma. The Creature from Grandma. Nightmare of Grandma. Oh, wow, yeah. I've definitely had those. The Horns of Grandma. And then Shada would just be Grandma. The Grandma Hive. The Grandma. Full Grandma. State of Grandma. Grandma of Decay. Warriors Grandma. The Grandma of Draken, the Keeper of Grandma, and Grandmopolis, which OJW came up with. I like that. The Grandma of Rang, Dragora, and Philip's Ascension of the Grandma. Rebel Times is so close to finishing McCoy. Right. All I need is the 2 stories in the middle of Season 24 and the other half of Season 25. Nice. The Face of Grandma. Whatever happened to Grandma? OJW says. The space grandma, Ivor says. The sun grandma, Patrick Stewart says. Renaissance of the grandma, Banjo Kazooie 59 says. An unearthly grandma, right? Grandma Valva. Grandma to Doomsday. Grandma, the Grandma-tation, the Grandma's Visitation. Grandma Orchid. Grandma Shock. Time Grandma. Grandma of Infinity. Snake Grandma. Grandma Undead. Oh, that sounds cool. Grandmaness. Grandma Mint. Enlightenment. I'm trying to turn that into a grandma title. The King's Grandma. The Five Grandmas. Grandmas of the Deep. The Grandmaning. The Awakened Grandma. I can't. The Awakening. Can't turn that into. Gramontios. Resurrection of the Grandma. Grandma of Fire. The Caves of Grandma Zani. The Twin Grandma. The Grandma Dilemma. That's better. Attack of the Grandma. Vengeance on Grandma. The Mark of the Grandma. The Two Grandmas. Time Grandma. Revelation of the Grandma. The Mysterious Grandma. Grandma Warp. Terror of the Grandmas. The Ultimate Grandma. Time and the Grandma. Paradise Grandma. Grandma Towers, that's better. Delta and the Grandma. Grandma Fire. Remembrance of the Grandma. The Grandma Patrol. Oh, that's great. The Grandma Patrol. Silver Grandma. Grandma Nemesis. The greatest grandma in the galaxy. Grandma. Battle Grandma. Ghost Grandma. The Curse of Grandma. And Grandma Vival. And then the TV movie would just be Grandma, the TV movie. If somebody's just joining the stream, I'm sorry. We're coming up with Doctor Who episode titles that have grandma in them. Oh wow, this is going. The Five Grandmas Special Edition. John Wisher says the Rebel Times. It's the Grandma Death. Carnival of Grandmas. The Green Grandma. Dan Johnson says, have we covered every episode with a grandma treatment? We've definitely done all of the classics. Grandma and Company. Banjo Kazooie 59 says. OJW says The Last Grandma, The Day of the Grandma, Secrets of Grandma, The Mark of Grandma, The Temptation of Grandma Patterson, Enemy of the Grandma, The Grandma Adventures. Aiden Phillips says The Unquiet Grandma. Banjo Kazooie 59, Grandma, The Early Years, and The Grandma Years. The Twin Grandmas, Patrick Sherwood says. Lost in Grandma, OJW says. Banjo Kazooie 59, The Grandma of Destruction, or The Edge of Grandma. Aiden Phillips is Grandma Polo. Oh, we haven't gone through all the classics. We'll do season. It's an unearthly grandma. The Grandmas. The Grandma of Destruction. Marco Grandma. Grandma Polo. The Keys of Grandma. Charlie doesn't recognize the Doctor anymore. The Grandmas. The Grandma of Terror. Grandma of Giants. Planet of Grandmas. The Grandma Invasion of Earth. The Grandmas. The Grandma Planet. The Grandma Museum. The Space Grandma. The Time Grandma. Grandma 4 or Galaxy Grandma. Grandma to the Unknown. That's cool. The Myth Grandma. The Grandma's Master Plan. The Grandma of St. Bartholomew's Eve. The Grandma Toy Maker. The Grandmas. The War Grandma. Oh wow. Or the Grandma Machines. The Grandmas. The 10th Grandma. The Power of the Grandma. The Grandmas. The Underwater Grandma. the Moon Grandma, the Grandma Terror, the Faceless Grandmas, the Faceless Grandma, the evil of the Grandma, the Tomb of the Grandma, the Abominable Grandma, the Grandma Warriors, the Grandma of the World, the enemy of the Grandma, the Grandma of Fear, Fury from the Grandma in Space, the Grandmas, the Grandma Robber, the Grandmas, the Grandma of Death, the Space Grandmas, and the War Grandmas. Wow. So many suggestions. Now we've made it through the classic series. Coming up on the cliffhanger, yeah. Or we passed the cliffhanger, yeah. Last part. The house is alive. Grandma Land. The Long Grandma. Grandma Land. The Long Grandma, Aiden Phillips says. The Grandma Menace of Andrew Kazooie 59 says. The Rebel Todd, my ears hurt after hearing too much Grandma now. That's fair. Just a house. Robert Sherman says the comedy absolutely breaks down now. Everyone fast forwarding through their reactions. Barnaby Edwards says, haha, gotcha, false climax. I wanted people to think that was the end of the episode. Oh boy. I like that the doctor's the investigator. Wow. 37 minutes. Yeah, well, so now I know what plum pudding is. I didn't. The TARDIS? Is it taking off? Barnaby Edwards says, I wonder if India Fisher, voice of MasterChef, has ever had to narrate a contestant's attempt to cook a plum pudding. Oh, I think now we're coming up to the cliffhanger. OJW says, I've got the live stream on 2 devices and it sounds like the midnight entity as my phone is behind. So it is copying my computer. Oh gosh, wow. This is the real cliffhanger this time. Here we go. What's happening? Is this the same house from the doctor's wife? Cliffhanger! There we go. End of part 3. Going on to part 4, the Chimes of Midnight, part 4. Doo-dee-dum. That joke is 59 says. Da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, da-dum, ba-dum. That's a great theme. You just reminded me of the grandma's wife. The grandfather clock. OJW do. Yes, right? The TARDIS is being absorbed by the house. Oh gosh. You can get this on CD and exclusive vinyl on download for $149. Let's see. You have the cast for this episode is Paul McGann as the Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie, Robert Kirbishley as Frederick, Lennox Greaves as Shaughnessy, Louise Rolfe as Edith, Sue Wallace as Mrs. Baddeley, and Juliet Warner as Mary. So 7 people total. Patrick Stewart said, let's all sing the Doctor Who theme. OJW joins in. Just by the merest nanosecond as opposed to the maximum nanosecond. How do you escape infinity? OJW. OJW is singing the theme. Oh boy. Whenever the Doctor is tempted to give up, that's always a good... That's a trope I enjoy seeing. The paradox is us, Aiden Phillips says. Yes. Charlie, my puppet. Get the companion out of the way. Barnaby Edwards says, the Chimes of Midnight is not, as many people think, a direct quote from Shakespeare's Henry the Fourth, Part 2. I think it's supposed to be Henry the Eighth, isn't it? Henry the Fourth, Part 2. The correct Falstaff line is, we have heard the chimes at midnight. So that's the main point. And Kenny Smith says there have been technical difficulties and was now running late as a result, with director Mark Gatiss very apologetic to the team working on the next play. Oh, wow, yeah, they ran overtime. Good day, Mr. Grove. Whoa. $30. Edward Grove. Plum pudding is trending number 5. Aiden Phillips says, yay! It is good to meet you at last. Yes, my puppet. Barnaby Edwards says this would make a wonderful stage show, wouldn't it? Definitely. Robert Sherman says you can probably only get away with a talking hunk of brickwork on Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who. I think the number 5 is good for an audio play, Dan Johnson says. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's very impressive. Considering, you know. To the cook. Charlie knows Edith. Wow. I forgot that. Robert Sherman says every time I've tried to write stories about talking houses for other formats, it never works. Barnaby Edwards says Edward Grove is voiced by Lennox Graves. Shaughnessy, such a great performance. Yeah. Just the chiming of the clock, Doctor. Quite so. Paul McGann is great. He's just a great doctor. The tea always tastes better when it's made by free will. Wow. Great line. Nice showdown with the villain. They never die, but they never live. Sounds like a pirate. I can't believe we're at number 5 on Twitter. Rob Sherman, Kenny Smith has tweeted a Rob Sherman quote that says, "Looking back now at that time, I find my fears rather peculiar. Everyone at Big Finish was so enthusiastic about Chimes. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were trying to humor me." Oh, wow. Paul says, "Time actually moves quicker upstairs." The script for the Chimes of Midnight, Kenny Smith says, was published in the Big Finish Doctor Who script book, Volume 3. Comment down below if you have any Doctor of the Big Finish Doctor Who script books. They seem cool. That's enough for me. Care to fig for me? How about we all take it in turns to write a line of a story about Grandma, and then we see how it turns out into. OJW says, "All right, you start it." Ah. So I will check my Twitter then, Patrick. Let's see. Ooh. Nice. Patrick Sherwood says, "Look what I just found on the internet. A DVD cover of the amazing 8th Doctor story, The Chimes of Midnight." Yeah, that is cool. I like it. I'm retweeting it. Here's the link to see that artwork. That's very cool. I love big, DVD covers for Big Finish audios. How about a piece of plum pudding? Oh, wow. Let's see what people are tweeting for hashtag plum pudding. It's such fun giving them little chores. Wow. Let's see. The vinyl release contains 4 discs, Kenny Smith says. The story is spread over 3 records. Wow. Wow. My heart is breaking. Hashtag plum pudding at a smashing blouse on Twitter says. At Starry-Eyed Girl, or Gur11 says, evil villainous monster is so polite, only in Doctor Who. It's all coming together. Wow. I4 says, suicide is a subject that affects me quite a lot. Edith's story is so beautifully done. So glad to hear that. They've handled it well. OJW says, Grandma was a fan of Dr. Seuss, not just a fan, but a complete admirer. She believed to have seen him at the age of 11 and has been waiting ever since. Somebody carry on. How about a Dr. Grandma Seuss? The scream was her. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Wow. That story is taking a complete different turn than I remembered. I haven't remembered the ending to this at all. Grandma, how about a Dr. Grandma Seuss? Time is marching on. Of course, it took me a long time to die is such a haunting line. Yeah. Aiden Phillips says, this story is so emotionally potent. Yeah, yeah, right? Have you learned compassion as well as intelligence? That domino of the Big Finish CDs, that video is so funny. That is just great. That's the best thing ever. This is a not like this is a creepy story, but very very good. Oh boy. Who is the doctor? So cool that they have Paul McGann tweeting live. That's so cool. Who indeed, Paul McGann says. Patrick Sherwood said, so what would you like next to be a Doctor Who Big Finish tweet along? Oh, I'd love The Blood of the Daleks. I would love preferably an hour-long one. Any of the Fourth Doctor adventures. Let's see. Comment down below with what Big Finish you would like to see listen to live. Spare Parts obviously would be another great one to do. Let me see, what was my favorite, some of my favorite Fourth Doctor adventures. Let's see. I enjoyed the Wrath of the Iceni. Let's see. The Antimatter, that was a fun one. The Justice of Jalzar, that would be a good one. The King of Suntar, I remember enjoying. Let's see. The Evil One was great. Yeah, and I think I remember enjoying The Crooked Man. I'm not sure. That would be that. Those would be some of my suggestions. The Living Legend. The Rebel Time says, I enjoyed Phantasmagoria a lot, and let's see what other good ones would be that I've just listened to. I've just listened to let's see. Oh, the Apocalypse Element was so cool. Really enjoyed that. The Genocide Machine was a good one, as was the Marian Conspiracy and Fearmonger. Phantasmagoria. I think that would be great. Technophobia would be ironic, Aiden Phillips says. Dan Johnson says Spare Parts. Yeah, right? That's probably actually a really likely one. How about the first one ever, Signs of Time? Patrick Stewart said that would be a good one. It's cool to see the 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctors meet. Aiden Phillips, Phantasmagoria was great. Gave Turlough one of his best moments. Yeah, I love that. It was so much fun. The Holy Terror. Oh, that's the one that's coming up next, Aiden Phillips, for me. That's what I'm listening to next. Oh, gosh. 10 more minutes. Choose life, Paul says. Only 500 limited edition versions of the Chimes of Midnight were released. Let's look on eBay, see what they're currently going for. Choose Charlie. I'm not seeing anything coming up on eBay. I'll check ebay.co.uk. £108 for the Chimes of Midnight vinyl. Great artwork by Clayton Hickman. Oh wow, there are 4 discs. That's crazy. That's huge. Yeah, I guess that's about right. About £108. Whoa, that's a lot. Paul and India are tremendous in this bit, Barnaby Edwards says. India Fisher loved this speech of the doctors. Oh boy. This is the climax. Robert Sherman says this bit is a love letter to Doctor Who, really. Dead on screen since 1989 and I missed it and I thought it was never coming back. That's wild. Thank you, Big Finish, for keeping Doctor Who going. I love this music, Ivor says. What's everyone's favorite Murray Gold track, OJW says. Ooh. That's a good question. Banjo-Kazooie 59 says there's £62.29 for the vinyl on the Big Finch website. One of 500. That's definitely a better price than what it's going for on eBay. OJW says mine's 4 knocks from the 2008 to 2010 special soundtrack. And Phillips says, yeah, the vinyl is only £70 on the Big Finish website. Yeah, it's £63 on the Big Finish website. So definitely go for it there if you're going, rather than on eBay where it's £100. But Banjo-Kazooie 59 says too many to choose. There are so many good ones. The House has been expelled from the TARDIS. It's so weird having House also be in the Doctor's wife. Is like, is this a secret? I'm the Doctor is the best track to me. Dan Johnson says that's a very good one. Good to see you, Banjo-Kazooie 59. Keep growing your knowledge collection and connection, and I will see you in the next video or live stream. Good to have you. Thanks for dropping by. Only 4 minutes left. Not long now. An Inspector of Scotland Yard. Complimenting the scullery maid. Midnight. Christmas Day at last. The chimes of midnight. Wrapping up. It's been lovely. Be proud of that. Good message for all of us. Such a good story. Really is. The doctor doesn't know. The TARDIS dematerializing. About to hear the theme. I am somebody. Such a lovely ending, and Philip says, yes. OJW, I'm starting the crime novel for my study project tomorrow. We're in the endgame now. Well done. That's the theme. That was the Chimes of Midnight. What a fun story. What a great one. Definitely want to break out along with all the other Christmas episodes at Christmas time, as well as anytime when you're in the mood for a good Big Finish story. I'm so glad to have done this with all of you. Definitely check out the Big Finish Twitter. Go back through that Twitter list under hashtag Plum Pudding and see what everybody was saying about the episode. Support these so that more Big Finish listen-alongs happen. Thank you all so much for hanging out. You are all truly the best. Thank you for your support and for joining in and listening along to this awesome story. Thank you to Jason Peace for the £2 super chat as well, and thank you to all of our moderators, Dan Johnson and Evan Cunningham and John Fisher and the Rebel of Time. Glad to have you all here, and good to have OJW and Aiden Phillips, Banjo Kazooie 59, and so many more here. I've Horace, glad to have you here, Patrick Sherwood. Thank you all for joining me. Until I see you in the next video or live stream, which is happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. BST. That's 2 p.m. EST. We'll be watching The Happiness Patrol. Until I see you in the next video or live stream, keep growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans, and I will see you next time. Bye.